Season Awareness Group. Today we have something extremely fresh and special for you guys. We're in Dayton interviewing former Cleveland Browns football player Ernie Green about his battle with breast cancer. So stay tuned. We'll see you upstairs. Thank you, Mr. Green, for allowing us to come into your office and get your story. We really appreciate it, and we think that it'll help a lot of people.
Erica, it's my pleasure.
Thank you. So first, let me get some things straight. You're from Columbus, Georgia,
Yes.
where you were born and raised.
Yes.
And you went to school at the University of Louisville
Yes.
in Kentucky?
Yes.
Okay, and from there you went into the NFL in 1962?
Yes, I was drafted by Green Bay.
Okay.
And obviously went to training camp with them in 1962.
Okay.
Spent a couple of months there, and then of course I was traded from Green Bay to Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
And I was able to spend my career, my 7 years in Cleveland with the Browns.
Awesome. That's great. I see you with the Browns colors on today. I wish
Well,
we could.
this is by accident, but you know, it's.
But it's awesome. It's perfect.
What it is.
It's
what it is. Yes.
Shows your Cleveland pride.
Oh yes, very much so. Very much so.
Awesome. So if you could, just share with the community a little bit of, the Cleveland community, a little bit about your experience with breast cancer.
Okay.
When were you diagnosed with breast cancer?
I was diagnosed August 2005.
Okay. All right. So would you say it definitely stifled your career a little bit with?
Well, it did, because I had completed my career as a football player, but obviously we were, involved with our company and had a lot of things going for us, but the experience itself kind of put things on hold, because when we were diagnosed, we had no idea how severe it was. We had no idea what it was going to do to our lives, my wife and I.
Okay.
And we had to put some things on hold, because we had to find out how severe it was, what we were going to have to do regarding treatments, the effect of those treatments, and what was going to happen when it was all over.
Right.
So there were a lot of things going on, and we just had to sit and think about them and create a plan to deal with what we were going through.
All right. So what was your plan? Like, what kind of treatment? Well, what was your treatment? Did you get surgery?
Well, here's what happened.
Okay.
The morning that I detected that I had a lump in my breast, it was different, and I just, touched it and thought that because it was different, I needed to mention something to my wife. And she said, well, it's probably nothing, but we need to get it checked out.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, well, what I'll do for the next couple of days, just keep checking it to make sure that it's not getting any larger, or it's not hurting, or whatever. And then I will go and see the doctor. So after a couple of days, we detected that it had not gone away.
Okay.
And I had a conversation with my local doctor, and who was, indicated that, well, it's probably nothing. And he also said to me that, well, I have been treating patients for 37 years or so, and I've never had a case of male breast cancer.
Wow,
so
right.
I felt pretty good about that. But then I said to him, well, I have to go to Cleveland, because I have a doctor in Cleveland that I really have a great deal of respect for, Dr. Jackson, Ed Jackson. He was at University Hospital at the time.
Okay.
And I spent some time with him discussing the issue, and he too said, well, it's probably a cyst or something, but it shouldn't be there.
Right.
And we need to figure out what we're going to do to get that part of the situation resolved. So we left Cleveland to come back to the Dayton area, and we decided to use, I should say, a local surgeon to, remove the lump and, analyze it, see what was going on. So we did that, and after the surgery was when we received the news that, good news and bad news.
Oh,
the good
really?
news was it had been removed. The bad news was it was cancerous.
Right.
And then, of course, my little world changed.
Right.
And that's how we discovered the situation.
At this point, you now know that your cancer is malignant. What's next for you and your wife?
Well,
Do you guys have kids?
we have a bunch of children. so
Okay.
But the next step, of course, was since we now knew that we had breast cancer, we had to get with doctors, and we chose to go to University Hospital in Cleveland. We met the surgeon, Dr. Shank, and later we were introduced to an oncologist, and we had conversations with both doctors, and we learned from them what the process was that we were going to have to undertake. Fortunately, University Hospital in the cancer area has what they call a tumor board. And whenever there's an issue, the problem is discussed with that board. And obviously, ideas are battered around between them regarding the best way to treat the cancer. And once that had taken place, surgery was scheduled, and we went in to have the surgery, spent the night in the hospital, and came back to the Dayton area to recover. And after a couple of weeks, we went back to Cleveland to have dialogue with the oncologist and listen to her plan for us for the next 8 weeks. 8 sessions of chemotherapy was scheduled, and after that, then there were going to be an assessment of where we are and what was going on. So we managed to get through both of those, and I will say emphatically that the treatments were pretty rough.
Okay.
I became pretty sick and was very uncomfortable, but we managed to get through it, and I would not wish the experience on anyone, but it was something that we did because we were not prepared to just give up and not fight the situation. So we managed to get through all of it, and we can look back as something that we really don't ever want to have to do again.
Right.
But at the same time, if we had to, we would do it because it beats the alternative. Check for those things because I know I shared the story with you when we had our conversation, was that my 2 sisters both had breast cancer.
Right, you did.
And they were treated, and the younger of the 2 sisters was cancer-free until the day she went back for her 6th or 7th year checkup.
Wow.
And it had returned. My older sister had breast cancer, had a mastectomy, and eventually passed away from the issues. There were some speculation that my mom had breast cancer as well. And since my sisters passed away, the daughter of my younger sister has had breast cancer.
Okay, right.
A first cousin on my mom's side had breast cancer. So knowing the history could be very important if you are prepared to do something about it. Get regular checkups, you know, self-examination and those kinds of things,
Right.
and making as many people as you possibly can aware of the health issues in your family, especially family members, because if they are aware, then there's a strong likelihood that they will begin, you know, mammograms. They will make sure that they self-examine themselves, so that if there's something that's abnormal, that they can get it checked out and treated.
Early, exactly.
Yeah.
That's really important. Early detection is probably one of the best ways
That's exactly
to combat breast cancer, and
That's exactly
especially for men and women, you
Yeah.
know. So that's
Absolutely.
excellent. And did you want to tell us a little bit about your company, Ernie Green Industries?
Well, I can do that. I also work in Florida.
Oh,
and,
okay.
But Ernie Green Industries was started in 1962.
Okay. Awesome.
That's not true. 1981.
1981.
And we started the business with a relationship with one of the major automotive producers.
Okay.
And we were able to fulfill a requirement that did a couple of things. It allowed the company to have a relationship with a minority company, and it allowed us to take on projects that we were able to perform, and it would allow them to be more competitive. In fact, they could sell or buy products from us a lot less expensively than they could, you know, make them themselves. So it created a very good situation for us, and we both prospered.
Is there anything that you've done in the community to help raise awareness?
Well, yes. You know, we have been quite active. I'm celebrating my 9th year
Wow.
of being cancer-free.
That's awesome.
And part of the experience when I was diagnosed and was treated, on some of those rough days when things weren't going well or when I didn't feel well, it kind of suggested that if I was able to get through this situation, I would do whatever I could to, especially men. Men aware, because women are more aware than men are
Very
about
much
a lot of things. And I thought about the times that I had my physicals and the number of times that my doctor examined my breast. And I never recall one doing that.
Wow.
So I started saying to whomever I could, men especially, that if there was a history of breast cancer in their family, that it would not be a bad idea to self-examine themselves, ask their doctors to check as well,
Yep.
because again, the history is critical.
Okay. Right.
If there's issues in the family, then you know, there's a strong likelihood that some son, some daughter is going to wake up one day and have the problem. So we talk about those things, and we had opportunities over the years to do some things with Susan G. Komen. There's an organization in Cleveland, Jerry Blair from University Hospital, was involved in regarding women who fought the issues with breast cancer and raised funds to pay for mammograms and things like that, and we were involved. We created with the American Cancer Society here in the Dayton area a golf tournament
Okay.
where we were able to invite people who like to play golf and who was advocate for breast cancer research and those kind of things. And we raised quite a bit of money for that.
Okay.
So there's always something going on, and Del and I are very involved in things to promote breast care and raise funds to do research and those kinds of things.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us again in your office. It's so cozy in here. I think I said that before.
Oh, okay.
Very inviting. Hey guys, it's me again, and we just wrapped up our interview with Ernie Green. We really appreciate him for taking time out to actually do the interview with us, and we hope that his story can inspire you all to go out there and get your mammograms done, men and women, because early detection is the best protection. Bye, have a good one.